How's it going? We've got some beautiful lilacs today. When I picked up flowers the other day, I had the lilacs, but I didn't get to finish processing them because I didn't have all the stuff set up that I needed to for that. So I wanted to show you a little bit about processing them, taking care of them, the care and handling that we do so that they will thrive in our arrangements that we're going to make. And I put them in this vase overnight, and I thought it was just really interesting. So I want to tell you a little bit of background about that. So in that bunch yesterday, there was the special Chrysal Flower Boost packet. There are certain products that come with a package of flower food with them. You should always use it. In fact, no matter where you get it, if you get, excuse me, flowers from somewhere and there's a packet of food, use it. It's for 1 liter of water. So I took one of my Evian bottles and I just put it all in this bottle. And then I filled up this vase to here, which I have about this much left. And so I just made a flower mark on the side so that I knew that this was flower food so I wouldn't drink it. Not that it would hurt me, but I don't want to drink it, right? And so then I put it in here. Now, look what happened. I cut them at an angle and just placed them in this space and set them on Kel's desk. Now, look it drank from there to there. That's how thirsty they were. And I did not beat the ends of the stem with a hammer like some people tell you to do. I cut them with my bypass cutter at an angle and put them in the vase. Now, I will notice that down inside here, I have a bloom that's floating in the water. And so I want to get rid of it because that's not good, because that's going to cause bacteria faster in that water. But I thought we'd make an arrangement with these, and I thought it would be fun, right? So they do smell good. They're not quite as fragrant as the lilacs that I grow in the yard. When we cut them in the yard, they have a lot more fragrance to them. When we cut them in the yard too, we leave the leaves on. I believe that leaves are super helpful. I don't know why the leaves are removed on these when they come from the flower shippers. I don't know why that is. Maybe they just get flagged too quickly and they really deteriorate the blooms themselves. I don't know. But I prefer to leave the leaves on when I'm cutting from outside because I believe that the leaves help create photosynthesis and they allow the flowers to open better. That's my personal belief. So it's one of my favorite vases. I love it. I like that it's kind of slender in the middle, makes things splay out a little bit. I like that there's different colors of the lilacs in here. And I just think it smells really pretty. And so that's really fun. Purple is also a very powerful color. So I'm going to use these as my structure for my bouquet. And then we're going to place a few more flowers in there with them. How about that? So I thought we would try a few mini carnations. As I've told you before, I believe that carnations are a great investment for us because each one of these spray carnations is going to open up and it's going to look beautiful. And so with this, I'm going to use my Dram bypass cutter and my compact pruners today. I also have my Swiss Army knife if I need it, but I don't anticipate that. I love putting like flower colors together too. I think that that's going to create something that's really beautiful for us. And so in this case too, you'll notice that I'm cutting here. So I have that stem and then I have this stem. And that's because that will allow this guy not to get sunk so far down in the vase. And that individual flower is going to be able to open up, right? So I'm going to do that with most of these because that's just about the length that they have. And there seems to be a little bud that I can put in on an additional stem. I'm always cutting in between the joints too on my carnations. So the carnations, I want to make sure I cut between those joints because that's going to make sure that the water gets pulled up the stems better and faster. Okay. See how that's already looking pretty fun? Now, I love that. The other thing I think about is waves in bouquets. The lilacs obviously are going to be a shorter lived flower here. The carnations are going to be longer. I talked about this week that I had flowers in the house for 2 weeks and I still had carnations and chrysanthemums that were still beautiful. So as I cleaned out those vases, I grab those, recut them, put them in fresh water with fresh flower food. And again, I have beautiful arrangements that I still get to enjoy for a while. And so I think that's really something that's very special about this, is that this is going to have waves of flowers that are going to go in there. Now, because we're talking about fragrance, and I think that fragrance is wonderful, when I walked into the studio this morning, the beautiful stock that we have back here, I could smell it, right? And so I think we're going to use a couple pieces of stock in this as well, because I think that that would be really wonderful. And you'll notice that my stock, remember yesterday it was very straight. Now it's starting to curve a little bit, and you notice that it's getting phototropic. It's going to start to curve up again, and that's going to happen over the next couple of days. It was dark down here last night, and the other thing about it too is that we have 4 inches of snow outside today, so it's very beautiful. But I also love the way that these kind of curve out too, because now look at that in there. It's going to come up and out that direction. I'm removing these leaves because stock does have a fuzzy stem. Now, typically, I would drop in a little bit. I would drop in one of my CVBN tablets inside with stock, but I'm not going to, because I've already got that lilac in there, and I don't know what those CVBN tablets would do to my lilac. They might not do anything to it at all, but I'm just going to play it safe this time, and so it's a little bit of an experiment for me to try and see what's going to happen. I love to experiment with my flower arrangements because I want to know what's going to work well. That's how I discovered that dahlias do so well with the CVBN tablets. They just do remarkably well. And look at this guy's straightening up. He's going to be real straight and nice and sturdy, and he's going to go right in the middle. But again, I want to make sure I pull off those leaves because I don't want anything down there in the water that's going to make it murky, that's going to add bacteria, that's going to make it stinky, that's going to make those things. So, you know, I just want to make sure that it's always very pretty down inside there. Okay, and now I've got a pretty little arrangement that I can take back to Kel's. Those lilacs looked a little lonely, and now they have that. Now, topping off, and this is something I want to be really clear about, is that I have this now to top off that. And so I've added those in there. I'm going to top it off. You know, it drank a lot last night. And so I want to make sure that every day I'm checking that, because as it gets down, I don't want it to run out of water. The other thing I can do is my Kreisel Professional Glory, okay? And just giving this a misting, because in our houses right now, it's very dry. And I have the stock in here, and I also have the lilac. And both of those have fragile type flowers. They're kind of like tissue paper. And so they will dry out faster. We have a fireplace in the office, and so that does dry out the air in there. And so I like to make sure that I use that Kreisel Professional Glory, coating everything front and back side so that it looks great and covers everything completely, because then it's going to seal in that moisture, and it's going to make them last about 24% longer. It's a great investment for us. So pretty fun, huh? You don't have to, but I'm going to take a little paper towel here, and I'm going to wipe off my vase so that it's nice and pretty. And it's all ready to go anywhere. It smells so great. It smells so great. All right. So I hope you enjoyed it. Lilacs in the middle of winter. Isn't that fun? It's great. Keep having fun with flowers.